Howdy, folks. Simone and Frank here from the Western Bar. What a ripper win, eh?
What a great weekend that was.
Woo-hoo.
Absolutely. Thanks for that lovely intro there, JR.
Yeah.
It was bloody grouse.
Would have taken you ages to write those lyrics. Grouse song. So, Frank, see any good memes or posts on Facebook over the weekend?
I saw a number of different ones. Plenty of fun. Get a dog up ya. There's plenty of different ones that were taking the piss out of the scum. It's very good.
How'd you see that? I thought you were in Facebook jail.
There it is. There it is. Luckily, I can still see things, but unfortunately, I couldn't comment, so I couldn't engage with people with their hearts and minds over the weekend, and I was locked out. Couldn't react, couldn't talk.
Oh, that's bad luck, mate.
No.
That's bad luck.
No.
You still managed to get your head on Facebook now, though, didn't you?
No, they can't keep me out.
So when are you due for parole?
Later tonight, and hopefully get released tomorrow morning.
All right, there you go, guys. So Frank will be up and about on the socials tomorrow.
Make sure you give me some love. I'll be looking to engage and cheer on the boys, even though it was about 2 days too late.
Yeah, so great weekend of footy, eh? Absolutely ripper.
Yeah.
Pies have a loss.
Dirty, filthy
We
bastards.
love it.
Yeah.
And we beat the scum in the 250th hit out.
Yeah.
How good is life?
And we've got the wood over them too. I don't remember exactly what the numbers are, but I'm pretty sure we're up by about sort of 12 or 13 overall. So yes,
Yeah.
you scummy dons.
G'day, Harley. Thanks for joining us. Facebook court now in session.
I'll need you as my star witness.
So I noticed on the, socials after the Pies lost against the Suns, people were sort of moaning because Pies beat us. But you could look at it the other way too, that we beat the Suns.
Yep.
So it's all a little bit arse about face, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit.
So I was a bit worried the first 3 minutes of the game. I was like, oh, no, here we go again.
Yeah.
And Tipper was running amok.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, we're in for a bit of strife here.
Yeah.
But then the boys come through and did it.
They did. They certainly did.
Yep. And we also, the Twos also beat the scum as well. So,
Yeah. Double banger.
Yeah, so it's happy days all around.
It certainly was.
And I think one of the other greatest things is Saad beat Essendon.
I loved it. Every time he got the ball, they booed him. Didn't bother him. He seemed to have his best game for us. So, yeah, absolute work to treat.
Yeah.
Love them filthy bastards getting beaten.
Absolutely brilliant. Thanks for joining us, Ant McClelland. Great team effort this week. Yep, couldn't agree more. I think it was a great game. It had everything.
I absolutely had everything, didn't it? It had really good stuff. It had a bit of questionable stuff.
Yeah.
Ups and downs.
Yeah. Yeah. It had a biff.
Had a biffo.
Yeah.
Had a big biffo. Love that. Yeah. Parks' tackle on Tipper.
Yeah, thanks, George.
Absolutely,
Quite right.
George. Yeah, beautiful. He hit him hard, and I love the arrogance straight afterwards with a bit of a push down to the ground again. I fucking had you bastard. So yeah. And none of his mates come to his defence because I think one bloke was hanging around, and there was Plowman and I think Nunes around as well, and they stopped the other mate coming in and said, no, you just get going there, buddy. We'll take care of this. You and your piss weak mates.
Yeah. There was a lot to like, wasn't there?
Absolutely. A highlight list as long as your arm. Absolutely. Yeah. And a low light list quite short. So unfortunately we've been on the other side of that the last couple of weeks. But although, it's easily said that it wasn't wasn't the best game skill wise you'll ever see, or there was definitely some things to improve on, which you're probably going to find in every game, but it was just a good solid hit out. Yeah. Vast improvements from the weeks before, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I think it was a great bloody fight between two rivals,
traditional old firm type rivals.
Yeah, a few jumper punches and all sorts. It was great.
Yeah.
And how good was Owies?
Yeah.
Far out.
I didn't realise he'd actually played a game on it, or a game or two last year or the year before, whenever it was. I didn't remember that, but no, absolutely walked straight in, and like he fit in like a, absolutely like a glove. Yeah, good forward pressure, lots of good goals. He was up and about. Yeah.
Yeah. What did everyone else like about the match? There was a hell of a lot to like. And you've got a bit of a problem when you're trying to reduce your highlights just to a few points, but you can't. So we could take days talking about everything we liked.
Yeah, but we want to hear what you guys liked as well.
Yeah.
Let's hear what you've got.
Yeah. So George, thanks for joining us, buddy. Owi's tackle saved goal. Yes, that was. I remember that. When was that? Which quarter?
I'm not sure. Owi's tackle saved the goal, or was it Parks's? I'm not sure. I might need my memory jogged on that one as well.
Yeah, and thanks for joining us, mate. Great to see a game with both teams kicking over 100 points.
Highest scoring game of the year, I heard.
Yes, that's right.
The stat I heard.
Yeah,
I would love to have kept them under 100 points because that's sort of like the yardstick, I suppose you could call it. But they just tipped over it. But absolutely loved. It was a bit of a shootout, wasn't it? Two teams thought, we'll defend, but we're gonna attack hard, and then a lot of goals scored. Loved it.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. Hey, Brett Klassen, thanks for joining us. SPS in the middle, stuck it up, everyone. Absolutely, I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're all devastated to see that he was omitted.
Definitely, especially after, being moved up the ground onto a flank or whatever and did really well. And
gave us all what we'd been asking for, and then he got omitted. It didn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Dow, SPS still got a run and basically stuck it up and said, this is why I should get a Guernsey every week.
Yeah, I feel like Dow was doing the same thing, to be fair, sticking it up them because he was on fire in that first quarter. Inside midfielder, which is what his position is actually, he's best at. He was in there shoveling out balls left, right and centre. Loved it.
Yeah, no.
But, unfortunately, copped a bit of an eye poke or something like that from Pitnet, and then, obviously he was off, but gutted for him as well. But, as said, SBS came in and picked up where Dow left off, basically.
Yeah, and I noticed sorry, I lost my train of thought there.
How many beers you had?
Half of one. Anastasia, thanks for joining us. What's not to like? Saad goal and the boo came along. That was awesome. It was brilliant.
Loved it. Essendon.
Yeah, right. So Saad's running around the oval going like this.
Yeah, giving it these ones. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sucked in Essendon. Some of the other things I liked was the fact that we had 10 goal kickers. Like, that's just amazing. I think, when you consider H had 4, Betts and Owies had 3 each.
Cunners had 2.
Cunners and Fogs had 2, and then there's a whole heap of blokes kicking 1 each as well.
Yeah,
lovely. I guess that's how you win a footy match, isn't it? Goals.
Kick more goals than the other.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I love that. What about you, Frank?
I tell you what, nice and early on. How can you go past Eddie's mark in the goal square? That was. I mean, Eddie's taken some big hangs in his time, but probably more known for his goal of the year traits. But that mark was special. I love that. He was outsized by a bigger body, but used a bit of experience. Jumped early, turned the body, took an absolute hanger. Loved it.
Yeah, and now he's up for mark of the year this week. He's got a nomination. So
I didn't see a lot of other games. I don't think there was going to be many that was better than that. Maybe I'm biased, but
I can't even remember the other 2 nominations. I didn't care. Where's Eddie? Bang.
No.
Google AFL Mark of the Year and put in a vote for our boy.
Yeah. He's got to get it.
Yeah. G'day, Harley. Thanks. Well, I've already said that, but yeah, good point. Weeders couldn't have played a better game for his 100th. Absolutely. He had a ripper.
Yeah. He's really carrying on his John Nichols medal from last year's form.
Yep.
Yeah, he's standing up as a solid backman, real key pillar. So yeah, loving that.
Yeah, absolutely. So what else have we got, guys? What else did you guys like? Now we knock off the top team to gain respect. Yep. So we've got the Bulldogs next week.
Yep, I reckon.
How do we beat them?
Kick more goals.
More goals.
I was going to get in before someone in the comment section did. Nah, look, I don't. I mean, they got. Did they get pipped? I can't remember.
They did.
They did. They got pipped late. So I reckon we're half a chance. We play a little bit that sort of grit footy that we showed there against the Scum. I reckon we got half a chance. We'll get in there.
Yeah,
certainly up and about.
I'll tell you what else I liked. Ed Curnow's goal right before half-time, which closed the gap down to 2 points, I think it was.
Yep.
Jeez, he's a ripper. You know, like...
Father time, isn't he? He's just sort of still, I think he's 32 or 33 or something. He's not a spring chicken, but he runs his ass off all day.
Hasn't slowed down a bit.
Nah, still gets his 25, 30 touches a game or thereabouts. Yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah, like you said, like we said earlier, Dow unlucky to cop the finger in the eye because he had 3 clearances in the first 10 minutes.
Yep.
Like, he was on fire.
We were dominating the clearance game. I mean, it wasn't showing, but we at halftime, we had the 2 top clearance getters for the game in Dow.
Yeah.
Missed the whole second quarter.
Yeah, right.
And Pitnet, the ruckman.
Yeah, so we did pretty well on the stats there, eh?
Yeah, I reckon. And that's why I'm really, really gutted for Dow, because he's finally got that role that he needs to play. And he was in the first centre bounce, as you said. 3 clearances in the first minute and a half or whatever it was you said he had, or 10 minutes or whatever.
10, yeah.
Yeah, he absolutely loving it. He was going to have an absolute rip snorter until he got that eye poke.
Yeah.
So it felt awful.
Well, do you reckon he'll be back next week? His eye looked pretty nasty.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. And the other one was Gov as well.
Yeah.
Gutted for Gov. He's been building up some really good games, kicked a goal or 2. Tackling was amazing. I saw Gov. He was the first one in that biffo, throwing some solid jumper punches. Old mate Hind or whoever it was, his face would have been sore because he got at least 6 real solid jumperies.
Yeah.
And then again, did a hamstring late and he limped off, and he's probably not going to play next week either. So gutted for those 2 boys. They needed some continuity.
You reckon Gov will be reported?
Nah, well, he'll be cited. I'll probably be a fine. I would say $1,000 fine or something like that, but I don't think he'll be reported.
Yeah. I just loved the biffo. Like all the defending boys down there, just absolutely giving him some. Yeah. So no, it was great.
Yeah.
Forward, fellas. Sorry.
I wonder what we're doing now.
Yeah, look, I'm still a bit dusty from last night, so apologies, everyone.
From last night or the long lunch you had today?
There was no long lunch. Yeah, so I'll tell you what else I liked. Everyone's been sort of pissing and moaning about Teague showing no emotion. He was crying at the end. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
So you see him in the coach's box and he's giving it this one and, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon he was tearing up old Teague.
You reckon?
Yeah. So we got apparently 2 fines for Gov. There you go.
Is that what we got?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, look, it's not my money, but I'd be happy to pay for him just to jump and punch a bloke in the face 3 or 4 times, especially if he's a scum bastard like that guy.
Yeah, good stuff. You know what else I liked on the weekend? No crowd at the Derby.
Yeah.
Oh, sucks. Oh, it was great. Yeah. And Freo lost. They always do.
Yeah, I don't know. I prefer it when West Coast lose, if I'm to be honest. But
yeah,
you're never unhappy with the Derby because one of them are going to lose, and it's always fun to watch.
Yeah, it's a bit like a filth and scum game. You're like, I'll be happy either way.
Either way,
I'm getting a win.
Yeah.
So, thanks. Where are we? Harley says, yeah, nice goal. Ed Curnow did a job on merit. Needs to put a blanket over McRae.
Yeah, definitely. Great call. Did a job on Stringer as well, because Stringer got off the hook in late in the first quarter and kicked one or two, and then Merritt wasn't getting anywhere near it. So when Stringer went in the middle, Ed Curnow picked him up and curbed his influence a little bit. Then Merritt got off the chain, and Ed went back to him and said, no, get back in your box, you prick. Wore both of them like a glove throughout different stages of the game. So yeah, absolutely great performance from Ed. He always gives his heart and soul, though. That's his role as a run with player, and he does it really, really well.
Yeah,
and hurts you going back the other way, as suggested with the nice goal.
Yeah, no, it's great.
So he's not just a defensive tagger. He will hurt you going the other way. So
yeah,
makes you earn it.
Yeah, and I was getting a bit frustrated in the first. Tipper was running an absolute muck. I think he kicked 4 in the first quarter. And I'm like, who the hell's playing on him? So who was playing on him? Was it Stocker?
I think it was. It's hard to tell when you're watching it, because the defenders will change who they're playing on forwards and stuff like that. So, but I'm pretty sure, unfortunately, Stocker was given the job early. It was always going to be a tough one for him, and probably the wrong move, I would have thought. For a young bloke who's playing his second game back from being out of the side for quite a while. Game against Tipper is always going to be hard work. So definitely the wrong move. But to his credit, Teague noticed there was a bit of an issue, and I reckon late in the first quarter, early in the second quarter, it transitioned, and then Lucky Plowman, I saw him running around with Tipper for basically the rest of the game, from what I could tell.
Yeah, it stuck to him like glue.
And then he only kicked another goal, one more goal after.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was late the third or something. So yeah.
Yeah, they had to keep him quiet, otherwise we would have been in all sorts of trouble.
Yeah, he can carve a team up pretty quick, unfortunately.
Yeah. Geez, I'd love to see him in a Carlton jumper.
Absolutely.
Everyone looks better in Carlton jumper.
Well,
in blue.
This is true.
Brett's asking, when do we reckon Harry and Cripps will be signed? God, I hope soon.
I just don't know. I mean, I reckon now, given that Cripps is probably not playing 100% fit, a little bit down on his normal lofty standards, but again, that's probably because he's playing a bit sore, a bit banged. He's, I reckon he'll hold contract talks until the end of the season, just to see where it goes. Because if Carlton continues playing the type of footy that we have shown in glimpses, and for most of 95% of yesterday, it'll look good. It'll look good, and he'll want to sign because the team's going places. It'll be, right, okay, I'm confident now. Everyone's up and about.
I think after a game like yesterday, they would be feeling a little bit more positive.
Yeah. Definitely.
What about Harry? Like, wouldn't you think that he's probably thinking, I'm bagging loads of goals here. I'm sticking about.
Definitely, yeah. But again, if I'm to play the devil's advocate, his manager will go, let's just wait until the end of the year. You'll probably come first or second in the Coleman because you're absolutely on fire. Let's see if we can add another 10 or 20% to your next contract by dragging it out a little longer. So, which sucks from a club point of view, but from a player point of view, if he's worth it, he's got to get paid it. So that's, I reckon, what will happen there. So I'll be honest, I don't see either of them signing until the end of the year.
Yeah,
realistically.
Yeah. It's awful for us because we just want to get.
We just want the signature on there so we can.
Yeah. Cripps' stunning goal was outstanding. That was brilliant, wasn't it?
He only ran about 60 metres, but
and what's his name? Merritt.
Yeah.
He's nominated for Goose of the Week.
Yeah. Instead of tackling Cripps or even trying to, he was asking the umpire for the free kick way early. So he's definitely getting a Goose nomination.
Yeah.
But it was a nice goal. Just goes to show Cripps can do it all right if he's on the run, but set shots there. So did you see the one, I think it was in the third quarter, where Cripps broke away from the from a centre clearance and went to hit one on his left, and he went to hit it as hard as he could, and he barely made contact with his shoe.
Yeah.
It literally fell off the side of his boot and sort of shanked it.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah. I seen him kick one with it on his shin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember when it was. I was just like,
nearly missed his entire leg.
Anastasia, love your show, guys. Oh, thank you. We like you too.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll have you back.
Yeah. You get a Guernsey every week. Speaking of Guernseys every week, Owies gets a Guernsey every week.
Owies?
Owies, yeah. What do you guys reckon?
Yeah.
Does Owies come in next week? Did he lock in a spot?
Kicking 3 goals.
I think that'll do it.
He's not going anywhere, mate. Not a chance. He stays in. Eddie's definitely staying about. He what did I see a story? There was some naysayer in the media going, jobs for mates sort of thing.
Yeah.
Teague and Teague come out and said, well, Eddie Betts is doing his thing. We'll give him another couple of games. He's all right. And then goes bang. Takes mark of the year and then kicks 3 goals. Absolutely. And lays all the pressure and tackles and stuff. So
he had a ripper.
He's playing again next week.
Yeah. And definitely Parks. He's back on the park.
Yep. Fucking terrible, man. You have been working on that all day, haven't you?
No, well, maybe.
I reckon you have. Yeah, it was terrible. Don't do that one again.
No good?
No.
Yeah, so we'd love to hear what you guys liked about the game. Do you have any other standout highlights, mate?
I think we've slowly covered them all, bits and pieces. We've been through it. Dow loved it. Gov's hardness at the ball, tackling, that sort of stuff. Loved it. The Biffo. Did I mention the Biffo?
The Biffo was so much fun.
I loved it. It seemed like it was simmering for a while. I loved. I don't know whether the fella didn't get his name. The fella that just before the Biffo, Gov gave him a bump just after he kicked it, and he lied down. He flopped like a sook.
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
And then Razor Ray runs past and says, "Get up, mate! Bloody keep playing the game.
Stop being a sook.
How good are you going when Razor Ray tells you to stop being a sook and get up? You are going terribly."
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, hold on. I'm good at it. Who does silvani replace? Well, Jesus, that's
if silvani's fit, Levi is gone. Bye-bye, Levi. Sorry, mate. You are out. In fact, I'd have you gone this week, but Gov's done a hamstring, so again, Levi's gotten lucky.
Yeah.
But
he's
the moment
get out of jail free card
or TDK is fit, Levi is gone.
Yeah.
Done and dusted.
So Frank?
Simone.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what everyone's top 3 are. So yeah, shoot us your top 3. Who's your top 3? No.
Yeah. Well,
you were struggling to pick, weren't you?
Well, there's Walsh was definitely number 1. Well, 3 votes.
I'll tell you who my top 3 are.
Go on.
So I've given 3 points to Walsh.
Votes.
3 votes to Walsh.
Yeah.
2 votes to Walsh. And 1 vote to Walsh.
Walsh can just have as many votes as he likes.
Yeah, he can have them all.
He can have all the votes.
All the votes.
In fact, it should be reflected in the umpires voting as well. I really want to see on Brownlow night Gill, round 7, Carlton versus the Scum.
Yeah.
Walsh, all of the votes.
All of the votes.
All of them for the whole round.
He can have some from the other games.
Absolutely.
He gets all of them.
Yeah.
He deserves it, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think in all honesty, Walsh gets 3 for mine.
Yeah. I don't think there's a person in the country that thinks Walsh isn't getting 3 votes there. So
yeah.
I think this is where we start to differ. What have you got to do?
Well, geez, it was really hard to pick.
Yeah, it was. Good problem to have.
And look, I haven't been able to decide on who gets 2 points between Saad and Weiters, and who gets 1 point between Cunners and Ed Curnow.
We got 4 people there for 2 spots. So
yeah, I know. So they've got to share it around.
No.
Well, this is
4 into 2 doesn't go, bro. So
this is why Walsh gets them all.
Nah, Cunners for 2 had his best game he's ever played. He was bursting through packs, big runs, big kicks, kicked 2 goals.
Yep.
laid tackles. Cunnow's 2 votes, and Saad definitely for mine gets the 1 vote. It was hard. I wanted to give Weitering a vote. His intercept marking brilliant. I wanted to give Gov a vote just for punching that bloke in the face several times. I mean, he's hard done by not. He's in my honourable mentions.
Yeah,
hard pressed not to get a vote for punching that bloke in the face. But seriously, Saadi gets 1 vote for mine.
Yeah. Anthony's got 3 for Walsh, 2 for Weiters, 1 for Ed. Yeah, that's pretty much where I was until I started throwing Saad and Cunners in the mix.
It was tough. It was tough. I mean, you could have given 1 or 2 votes to, about a dozen different blokes that played really good. I mean, Eddie Betts, 3 goals a market year. Owies, 3 goals and some tackles.
It's a good problem to have, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yep.
Thanks for joining us, Pearl. Walsh, Mackay and Saad. Yep.
You're probably not going to get an argument out of all of these
anyone.
suggestions. That's what's so good. Some of these suggestions coming through now, you're not going to get an argument.
Nah. Walsh is a beast. Hey, Liam, how you going?
Liam,
thanks for joining us. Walsh is definitely a beast, and
absolutely.
I went and chucked a cheeky 50 on him for the Brownlow.
I tell you what, I looked at after the Freo game, and he was still paying something stupid like $65
Was he?
for the Brownlow.
Shit, I wish I put it there.
And I tell you what, I nearly did, but I thought, we're not going to win enough games. Oh no, whinges, excuses, and then never did it. Now he's down to 15 or 12 or something like that.
I got him on 15.
Yeah.
Walsh has definitely gone past Cripper. Yeah. 100%.
One thing I want to throw out while we're still giving up our best ons and that sort of stuff, one theory I had is if we can get Dow or Setterfield to really step up as an inside midfielder, is Walsh better served as an outside midfielder?
I like it.
I reckon he's an absolute bull in the middle and extracts the ball and then distributes beautifully. But I feel like his best position is running past, taking the hand pass, running his 10 or 15, and then kicking a nice ball, because he's a lovely kick and can hit targets. So I reckon that's going to be his best suited role. But at the moment, while he's doing his thing, he's 100% doing his thing.
Yeah, definitely. Ant's got Walsh, Curnow, and Saad. Yeah.
It's like I said before. I mean, there's going to be a number of different combinations up here, and they're all going to be really hard to argue with. So that's the beauty of it.
JR reckons 1 for Plowman, taking out Tingapootiwooti. Yeah, absolutely. He shut him up for the rest of the day.
Put a blanket on him and said, "You just go to sleep now, mate.
Yeah.
The boys will come back to you at the end."
Why don't you just go to sleep?
Why don't you just go to sleep? Be still, cat.
That's not nice. Yeah, so what didn't you like? I'd love to hear what everyone thinks. It wasn't much.
No, there wasn't. Like I said off the top, the highlight list is long, the low light list is short.
Yeah. I wasn't happy about.
The BAG list is good.
I'll tell you something I wasn't really a fan of.
Me getting thrown in Facebook prison. But I got thrown into Facebook prison for sticking up for her, mind you. We didn't actually get to that, but yeah.
Well, no.
Someone was picking on you, and I was picking on.
They weren't picking on me. She was just trolling me.
Yeah.
And being annoying. So what I was saying is I really miss Jonesy taking the intercept marks in the middle. Didn't like him at fullback.
If he works up the ground, it does look nice, doesn't it? Because the intercepts are further up the ground instead of the heart attack intercepts that are, deep in the forward line.
Yeah. I just love him coming up in the middle there. No, we're not going this way. We're going that way.
The problem is, and it's one of the things that I didn't like, it's in my low light list, is we get chopped up pretty hard on the rebound. So if we do turn it over in the forward line or across the midfield, we get chopped up hard coming back the other way, and I noticed that. So probably that'll have something to do with what you're saying, with Jones being stuck back instead of coming up the ground a bit more. Yeah,
and I think it looks like Brett agrees. Leaked too many goals, and third quarter got killed in the middle. Yeah,
we did. Yeah. We were putting them on the scoreboard, Brett, but we did get killed in the middle. We had 0 clearances to the 12-minute mark of the third quarter. 0. Yeah. We were leading on the scoreboard at the time, but did get killed in the middle. coincides with Dow not playing, realistically.
I'll tell you what else isn't one of my what I'm not a fan of, Sunday games, because getting up for work today was a bit rough.
That's because you're a wuss. I got up at 6 o'clock, no problem.
Did you?
Yeah, a little bit dusty, but
yeah,
got to move on. Brownlow, Petracca, McRae, Grundy.
Be hard to beat.
Reg Grundy's.
Yeah, well, hard to beat for Sammy. He's on 5th for disposals at the minute.
When you look at it, the year Fife won his second Brownlow. Cripper comes second and should have bloody won it. He got robbed, I reckon.
Yeah, but we
won 4 games.
Yeah, that's right.
4 games that year. So
we're already off to a flyer.
I reckon he's flashy enough a player to score enough votes to potentially. I mean, you're right though. Petracca's having a stunning season. McRae. And there's a few others that are playing really good footy, but it's just a sneaky little bit. I reckon it's probably not too much.
Yeah. Another thing I didn't like was BT. What a donkey! He was crowing. In halfway through the first that Essendon was going to win.
Yeah.
What a donkey!
Yeah.
That
not
dude
a fan
needs
of
to.
BT.
I don't want him commentating another Carlton game ever again.
I'd much rather Eddie Maguire.
Yeah, Eddie actually gets up and about. He's as passionate as he loves Carlton secretly. I'm sure he does.
Well, Carlton,
we represent everything that's great about footy that Eddie stands for. I guess
it's like Batman and the Joker, really, isn't it? They hate each other, but they more or less nothing without each other.
Yeah,
that rivalry's quite deep. So
yeah,
I see what you're saying.
Cousin Steve's on. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Steve-o.
Cunningham has an important piece of our midfield puzzle. Got to keep playing him. Absolutely.
Yep.
He had a blinder, I reckon.
Yeah, that's why I got him for 2 votes. I settled on Cunners and Saad for the 2 and 1, and at different points had them around the other way. But Cunners 2 goals, really important run through the midfield and through the forward line, definitely for mine.
Yeah. I'd love to hear what everyone thinks about, who comes in and who goes out. I struggled with that one this week because I was quite happy.
Yeah. Still gotta have some changes. At this stage of our journey, you've got to have someone coming in, someone going out. It's hard to keep an unchanged side.
Yeah, so we'd love to hear what your changes would be. What about you, Frank? What do you think?
Changes, depending on the injuries. So I'm pretty confident Gov's not playing. I'm pretty confident Dow's not playing. I'm not sure where JSOS is. So for me,
well, last week he was a test. He obviously didn't pass the test.
I'm not sure. I'd need someone who's got a closer eye on what's happening with
injury reports. Injury come out reports. On Tuesdays.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Then we'll have a look. See, but if he's fit, JSOS straight in centre field, and I like Ramsey. Levi's gonna be lucky and stay in somehow. The luckiest man alive. But Gov and Dow injured. Nunes is the omission.
Yeah. What is it about Nunes that you didn't like?
There was a couple of look. He's been off the last couple of weeks. I had him. If I go back through last week before our show died in the arse.
The shit show.
The shit show. I had Nunes gone last week, and he didn't really improve much this week.
No.
There was a couple of times in the third quarter he was just real soft at it, not hitting the pack, hitting the footy as hard as he could. Just sort of looked like he lacked that little bit of extra effort at the ball carrier. So and a couple of critical mistakes, uncontested, unpressured hand passes, not hitting targets, and real coach killers. So for mine,
Nunes is out.
Nunes, Dow, and Gov injured, omitted.
Nunes did a couple of handy things. Like I noticed a great tackle in the last quarter and a great smother in the first. But other than that, he didn't really do much for me.
No.
Brett Klassen says TDK for Casbolt, Jack for McGovern. Is TDK ready? I would have thought he'd have another at least another week in the twos.
Yeah,
if not more.
I'd love to agree with Brett on this one immediately because
we need that.
I'm desperate to get TDK in and Levi out. Trust me, but I think given that TDK did miss a large chunk of footy with stress fractures in his back, he's probably going to need another good couple of hit outs in the twos just to give him that match fitness, that good preparation, so that he doesn't fail when he comes in. We want to make sure he's cherry ripe.
Yeah, and look, fingers crossed we'll get JSOS back in for Governor. How far away is Martin?
I still think they're a good month away.
Okay.
I think one of Martin, and because they both went out at the same time, Martin and Fish, I think one was worse than the other. So, Martin I think's a good few weeks, and Fish is a good couple of months.
Yeah, all right. Zach Williams will be first in line back in. Yeah, I forgot about him, actually.
Well, I didn't, because he was injured and not dropped. I'm not sure where he sat with it, so it's a bit hard. I've got my question marks around JSOS, but if JSOS is fit, he comes in. If Williams is fit and ready to go, he comes in.
Okay,
definitely.
Yeah. JR reckons that TDK is ready. Played well enough on managed time. He's in. Fuck, I hope so.
Oh, it'd be nice.
Bye-bye, Levi.
Bye-bye, Levi, 100%. But maybe one or two more just to be on the safe side. That's a critical one there. Which
Murph sitting on 291 games, and we were talking about that earlier, weren't we? As much as I still like his game, he's still relevant. He still plays with class. We didn't miss him.
No, we didn't. And can we gift him 9 more games to get to 300? Is that the sort of footy club we are? I'm not so sure.
I don't know.
I'm not so sure. I don't want to hang him out to dry on 291. If he was on 298, give him 2 more games, get him to 300 by all means. But
there's no one in the forward line that you would swap him with either.
No, and then you've got to find room for Jack Martin and Fish.
Yeah, which you'd have beforehand. Before Murph.
Yeah. So look, it would not surprise me if Murph finishes on 291 or 292. I can't see him really pushing somebody out of that side anytime soon, and to do it 9 more times. Can't see it happening, unfortunately.
What do you think? Will we pick up Ben Crocker in the mid-season draft? You said that earlier, didn't you?
I'd love it. Yeah. I don't. We're not light on for forward options, but he is absolutely tearing the twos apart. I think 7 goals the week before, another 3 on the weekend. He kicked bags in the VFL scratchies. So I'd like to. He has been AFL listed at other clubs and been delisted. So questions are: has he matured enough to be able to cut it at the AFL level? But
I'm sure they'll be watching him.
I think so. Yeah. They wouldn't have put him there otherwise.
No.
And he's doing the right thing once there. So
yeah. JR reckons Murphy and for Gibbo. Actually, that's not a bad idea. We'd get more use out of him than Gibbo, I would think. I think he needs a rest. He's been lackluster.
He hasn't been ideal.
No.
But look, had that change have been made last week, it might have been a different story because the team was playing a little bit better. Would have given Murph a little bit more of an opportunity to play better himself, snag a couple of goals. So it's all relevant, I suppose. But it's going to be tough.
All right, so I think we've got the everyone hangs out for the Rude Lid Award. Who's got a nomination? Let's have a look. We'd love to hear what you think. We've put up 3 nominations for Rude Lid. Let us know what you think. Throw in your votes. So we've got Paddy Dow's eye. Luke Parks, he's a good-looking rooster.
He's absolutely not.
And when we were thinking about, who else do we nominate? And you know what? The whole Essendon Football Club.
Essendon are some pretty ugly-looking bastards.
That's a rotten team.
You got Cox, that Guelphy guy. I don't know if he's still stuck in the late 90s with his slim, shady, bleached hair. there's some terrible looking blokes in there. So yeah, nice one, Simo. I like that nomination. All of the scum in there.
Yeah. All right. So who gets it for yours?
I don't want to give it to Parks. I really don't, but realistically, he's an ugly fella. And I can say that from experience because it takes one to know one. So
I don't know. I still would have thought that the whole Essendon Football Club is a good nomination. All right. So what do you reckon? Parks gets it?
Parks gets it.
Parks gets it. You beauty.
Rude lid. Yeah.
All right. And now we better... Oh, by the way, if you missed the show last week, that's bloody good. Because it was rotten.
It was terrible.
But we... if you wanted to know who got rude lead last week, Robbo. He gets it.
Was it Robbo? No, Pluggage is uglier than that.
Oh, no. I think Robbo gets it for that.
Stop picking on the blokes that get a bashed in eye.
Oh, you have to, it's good fun. All right, so we've got our all-important Goose of the Week as well. Geez, we've got some nominations this week.
We have been blessed with some real good nominations for Goose of the Week.
Yeah, and also if you missed last week's show, Goose of the Week last week was Stocker's Goal.
Stocker's Goal of the Year.
Yeah. So this week, for those who did see last week's show, it was an absolute shit show.
It was a disaster.
So Frank and I are up for nomination on that one.
I kept cutting out. I'd be freezing, and then Simone would be trying to run a show with a frozen rude head on there. So it just wasn't working. We hit the kill switch and then reassessed our life's choices and come back bigger and better.
Put it in the losses column and
just move on.
You can't win them all.
No.
So we were in lockdown last week in WA, and so we had to stay in our homes. And Frank's internet, his suburb has got notoriously shocking internet.
Yeah, it's a black spot for internet.
Yeah,
so we spent a good couple of hours because it was a public holiday for us, being the public holiday for the Anzac Day on the Sunday. We spent a good couple of hours playing around with it, and it was working pretty well. But the moment we hit the go live button, it just turned to shit. It was terrible. So no good. But as Simone said, we regroup, put in the losses, and move on. Yeah. But we still get the Goose nomination for it.
Yeah, we definitely deserve it. It was a shit show.
What other nominations for Goose have you got, Simone?
The weekly nomination of Trevor Wallard.
But JR's put it on there.
And as expected, JR's done the nomination, but there is actually a reason. We
have a reason he's nominated for Goose of the Week this week.
Yeah, what is it?
A couple of weeks ago on the main Carlton live show with JR and Trev said that Cunners wasn't going to play at AFL level ever again. And then he was picked the following week and played a good game, and then he absolutely had a blinder this week.
So Trev, you've got a nomination for Goose.
What else you got?
Oh, geez. I had a few nominations on the socials as well. And and one of them is what Brett has nominated, Channel 7 commentary team, for saying the Scums list is better. What a bunch of donkeys.
Absolute fuckwits.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That Channel 7 commentary team on Sunday was a disaster.
Yeah,
I mean, shocking. I don't mind Luke Darcy, but together with Cameron Ling, BT, we touched on BT and that giant head, that concrete block size. So he should have got rude lid too, because what a fuckwit that guy is.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole lot of them. There was one, if you remember when Eddie Betts went to go, he kicked that goal and it went to a score review because they were talking about did he hit the post or not.
Yeah. And you could have driven a bus through that.
Yeah, and the donkeys upstairs were discussing whether it went on the goal side of the post or the behind side of the post. I'm like, what? You absolute fuckwits. They clearly went in the goals and they're going, was it even a goal? No, it looks like it went behind the post. Oh, mate.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We also had Clint. A few people that nominated people on the socials was Clinton nominated Corns. I think he gets a gong every week, a little bit like Trev. He gets just a nomination every week.
Nomination every week.
Yeah, and so too, George nominated Razor Ray. He gets one every week as well.
I don't mind that, but yeah, I actually did get a little bit of respect for Razor. Like he's an absolute flea at the best of times, but when you're running past a bloke who's just been bumped and you tell him get up and keep playing the game, mate, come on, that's you're getting lifted up in the standings for mine.
Yeah. And Jeff O'Day, he also nominated Merritt for complaining to the ump for a free while Cripps is from the I'll take this, don't worry.
No, you just ask for the free kick, I'll kick the goal and we'll all move on.
Yeah.
I've got a couple. We touched on the commentary team.
Yep.
I don't know if anyone saw it in the second quarter. Nick Cox trying to mark the ball with his face. He was about 2 meters behind a pack, 1.5 meters behind the pack that was going up for a mark, and they somehow missed it. It slid through. He didn't even have his hands up. He was just looking at it, giving it those ones, and then bang, the word Sharon was plastered on his cheekbone. I love that. That's bang, love that. And I had to put Cripps' shank in there.
Yeah,
that one where he tried to hit it with his left and half his shin, it even hit half his calf muscle and then slid off the side. So that's in there.
Oh, look, there's one I've got to do. Our mate Kev.
Oh, this is
anyone that knows Kev Doherty on the socials.
He's on all the blue pages.
Or Narek Bodia or Raphael Blatt.
Lovely bloke, but there's a reason he has 3 alter egos.
He got all 3 of his alter egos chucked in jail over the weekend.
So Simone put up a post on our WA Baggers page and it said, "Oh, well done, Frank, got thrown in Facebook jail for the first time. Good on you, dickhead, rah, rah." And he commented on there with his Kevin Doherty page, and then a little bit later, Raphael Blatt was commenting, and then out of the blue, he puts up this Garnick Day or whatever his name was, and he commented, "Kevo and Raphael have been thrown in jail, so now I'm here in the 3rd page."
But the funniest was
the best
thing. Suddenly, who reappeared?
Raph reappeared.
He got out of jail.
And Garnick was thrown in jail. He had 3 Facebook profiles thrown in jail in 36 hours. Lovely bloke. That's
funny.
Goose, yeah.
Yeah.
He might even take us.
I reckon.
Yeah.
So who gets it this week?
Kevin Doherty. Like I said, I love him, but
I don't know. I reckon we're gonna get it.
Yeah, look, you're probably right, but I'm just trying to not get it. So,
all right, shall we give it to Kev then? Kev, this is yours for getting all your aliases thrown in Facebook jail.
3 Facebook pages all in jail in 36 hours. Well done, buddy.
Yeah. All right, so how do we beat the Bulldogs next week?
We're going to kick more goals than them.
Kick more goals.
Yep.
I think I saw a comment earlier, and apologies to whoever posted it, and I didn't share it. We match up well against the Dogs.
I'm pretty sure that was JR.
I think it was, yeah. So, look, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a really good hit-out.
I reckon if we bring the same intensity that we brought, we can pressure them into playing a shit game. Because, make no mistakes, the Dogs are a quality side. So,
yep.
You know, we're not going to just wander in there and beat them by 15 goals. So we need to bring the intensity, force the pressure on them, and they'll play a different style of game and then, give us the best chance of winning.
I'll tell you what, though, another game I'm looking forward to next week is Pies and North.
Can North get their first win? Well, they nearly beat Demons. So.
I know, the first half I'm looking at my phone going, what's going on?
Yeah.
How'd you go on the tips?
Late Goose nomination, guys. I got 2
for the whole weekend.
For the whole week out of 9. Carlton and the Demons. They're the only 2 wins I had.
So the first half of that match, you go, holy shit.
Shitting bricks. Absolutely shitting bricks. Yeah, I even messaged Simone and said, am I a chance here of getting 0 for the round? Has that ever been done before? Oh, it was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
It
was a really hard weekend to pick, wasn't it? But
I don't reckon it was. I just...
I'm sitting third last in all my comps, so...
I'm marginally better than that.
I'm pretty good at this tipping paper. Yeah, so... what?
Click on that one there for me. I just saw that one.
All right.
Paddy McCartan. I did see that he knocked out a bloke in the 2s.
Did he?
Like, yeah. Apparently, it was like the Andrew Gaff hit on Brayshaw.
Oh, shit,
like a
really?
proper. Yeah, so he could be looking at big time on the sideline, and because I'm not subscribing to like newspaper articles and things like that, I haven't seen the actual footage, so I might have to go digging a bit harder to see that because apparently it was pretty bad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Shit. You get that?
Yeah. Stop belting blokes.
Yeah.
Unless you're Gov and they're in the jumper, that's their breed. You keep doing that.
Yeah. Dunkley's out, although they bat deep in the middle. We'll beat them if we fix up our defensive game.
Yep.
That's for next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. Look, our defensive game isn't bad in the back line, but when it does get, that's what I said earlier, when it gets turned over, we get chopped up. So we need to somehow stem that a little bit and give our defenders half a chance.
Yeah.
When the ball's coming in hot. So.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I think we might wrap that up. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon it's pretty good.
So thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be
Thankfully, it was a better show than last week.
Yeah. Well, it was funny anyway. So, yeah, join us next week. Thanks for joining us, and go Blues.
Kind of Blues.